Mark, how would you assess how we've performed at home this season, and what's more to come from this team, do you feel?
Well, we'll address the game first on Saturday. I think, we were actually, when in isolation, when you look back at what we actually did and what we didn't do, we were in no real danger at any stage, apart from the 2 goals within, I think they were about 12 seconds apart, which then puts you on the back foot, and then not to get shots on target is something that, we do not want to see. I've spoken about this before, about the way we want to play and the way that we need to play. And the way things have been sort of this season from a couple of games into the new year onwards has been tough, and it's been a struggle really, and shouldn't have been. So we need to evaluate that and have a real good look at what we've done, what we need to do moving forwards, and I'm not talking about anything in terms of recruitment or people leaving or anything like that. I'm talking about in terms of the structures, the way we go about the job. So we've got to look at that and be better. But then on the flip side of it, we've been actually scoring goals at home. So there is a discrepancy between the two things. There's been a discrepancy in certain areas this season that will be addressed. But 3 games left, 3 games to go, 2 at home. And again, we're talking about a decent spell at home with that home form. And, we've had significant challenges this season, more so than any other time, really. And I think that's contributed to certain bits not being right, but a lot of it being okay, in terms of we've scored goals at home, we've managed to create good chances, get into good positions as we did on Saturday. We had good positions, and then the final ball or the final thing didn't happen. So that was disappointing. The home stuff has been pretty good, to be fair, and we've got 2 really big games, obviously for different reasons. One at the top, one at the bottom. Fighting for the lives, with Portsmouth having 2 really good results, but prior to that, Millwall were in second place, so they're going for automatic promotion. So we know it's going to be a tough game. You don't expect anything different from Millwall. Alex Neil obviously coming back to his former club, and he'll certainly want to try and get a double done over us this season. And we've got to try and stop that and avoid that at all costs.
If we can pick up positive results in these final 3 games and finish in the top half of the season, how much of a positive slant will that put on the campaign, do you feel?
Look, we've got to put good performances in. Whatever happens, we've got to put good performances in. We know we are down to bare bones in certain departments. So again, whatever happens, we've got to really have a good go at trying to get something from a game against Millwall, and that's the only sort of the only game we're looking at the moment. Play tomorrow night. We've got a job to do. We've got to try and do that. Like I say, against a good side, but we've got to go and put in the work and put the effort in and put the quality in that we know we possess.
When these 3 games are over, to what extent do you quickly move on to looking ahead to the new season?
I honestly can't look beyond this game. We've got 3 games left that are really important, always important. If you start drifting and looking towards the end of the season, players might think that that's okay, and that might be the supporters might think that that's where we're at, and it's not fair. So, we have to go and put in a good performance tomorrow. And like I said, whatever happens, injuries, suspensions, whatever, those players have got opportunities. The players that are going out there are going to have opportunity to make sure that they end the season on a really positive note.
Sorba Thomas was named in the Championship Team of the Year last night. How would you assess his first season as a Stoke City player?
To be named in a team of the season in the Championship is a brilliant accolade to have, and that's testament to the work that he's done and the work that he's put in and the availability he's had and the quality that he's shown, the goals he's scored and the assists he's made. So, yeah, I think much deserved.
On some occasions, due to circumstances, you've had to play Sober in a kind of defensive role. What sort of factors have you had to consider when you've made that sort of decision?
Availability. That's it. Availability of players and the ability to be able to do the job diligently, and that's something that he's shown. The character he's shown hasn't gone unnoticed, and you know, whilst you're playing really well in another position, I know that it detracts from that. So you know, I don't think he hasn't sort of questioned anything. He's just sort of got on with it, and that's exactly what you want as a manager. But also, as his manager, in a position where he's been really productive, he has to be in that more often.
You've said many times this season, like you feel like there's more to come from Sober. What sort of areas do you see them to be?
I still think that he can improve, and I think that whilst everybody else is improving, and on the back of his contribution as well, can't underestimate that. I think that that there are others in the side that can contribute too. You know, you look at Million Manhoef, and some of his contributions in game have been really good. Jezrak Saki, in the short spell that he's had here, he always finds a chance. He always finds an area that he can get into difficult positions for the opponents, and he can finish as well. So, you know, we've got some talented players. There's no doubt about it. The biggest problem for us this season has been the lack of availability of people, and that's something that we don't want to happen again.